This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from your favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports. Real coverage from real fans.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the AFC East Roundtable. I am your host tonight, TD from TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Y'all punch that like button on your way in the building. We got a good one for you, AFC East conversation with TD. What's at stake for each team? We're going to discuss it, talk about it, and more in unbiased, okay, an unbiased take on it, all right? Giving you my real, true thoughts about what I think about the implications are this season for each team. Again, make sure you punch the like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well. We just went over 15,000 subscribers, by the way. So if you missed that celebration video, go check it out. It's like a video or two ago. Also, we're actually at like 15,150 already. So we already added almost like 150 people in the last 2 days. So salute to all the new viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get into it. Right before we do, I want you to know that this stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,000, ladies and gentlemen, using the link that is in the description of the video. It's also pinned at the top of the chat as well. If you're looking for a new sports book, check out BetUS, all right? Let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, and then we'll dive right in.
Michael Vick at BetUS.com. Catch an incredible 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS, my online sportsbook and casino.
BetUS, online sportsbook and casino. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel. Shout out to everybody watching right now on a Sunday night. Appreciate you tuning in. If you're a member of this channel, put your emojis in the chat. If you are a member of this channel, make sure you put your emojis in the chat. Shout out to all the members that's chiming in right now. I see DD SCLA in the house, Southern California. I think that's what it stands for. 19 New York Jet 69 is in the house. All right. I see all the members coming in. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let's dive in. All right. Listen. And it's a comfortable conversation, so I'm going to kick back in my chair and have it. But it's an unbiased one, and I want to talk to all 4 fan bases, okay? I want to start out with the New England Patriots. This is an important season for the New England Patriots because, in my opinion, this actually signifies the post-Belichick era where you've actually drafted a young quarterback. Now, we understand that the Patriots decided that they're not going to start their young star to start the season, but conventional wisdom tells you at some point this year, there's a great chance that he'll be coming into play, whether that be due to injury or it's just time to give the rookie some shine and see what he can do so they can start evaluating him and determining who he is. But what the Patriots also need to realize, at least the Patriots fans, are that when you do like a whole new reset, rebuild, like you get rid of the quarterback's gone, Brady's gone, right? You tried it with Mac Jones, it didn't work. And then you got Belichick, he's out of there. This is a whole new reset. I'm going to let you know now, it is hard for the next coach and the next quarterback and the next general manager to be successful based off of conventional wisdom in the NFL. Right now, you're going to go through the growing pains of just developing players, bringing in talent, trying to evaluate it for the future. But I think that the Patriots are a team that can make a quick turnaround quicker than the norm because what they did this offseason is not acquire a lot of big name free agents. What they did is retain the ones that they already had as they continue to ride through this rebuild. It's all going to start and end with the quarterback position. At the end of the day, they have to at some point put their young guy in and determine who he is. Putting Brissett in, I think, is just a filler to start out, so that when the Patriots aren't doing so well, which it's highly likely they won't be doing very well, that it gives them even more of a reason to throw the rookie in between week 7 and week 12. Somewhere between there, it gives them, a feel-good justification to throw the rookie in, okay? And that's what it's going to ride on. How well will the young guy play? How good is he? How good is Drake May? Is he the future? And I love to hear from Patriots fans. Do you believe in Drake May? Do you feel what you've seen so far from Drake May is showing you, you know what, we got our guy for the future? He's young. It's hard to judge early on like this, but it does leave me wondering in that regard how you really feel about him. And I see y'all coming in right now. Y'all hit the like button on the way in. I'm giving an unbiased take. I love to have fun on the AFC East Roundtable and everything we do. But when I have these solo streams, I try to keep it 100 and tell you, unbiased, not riding just solely for the Dolphins because I love them. I give you, my true thoughts on everything. And that's where I am right now with the Patriots. These are going to be some trying times. Whenever your young guy does come in, will he do enough to excite you for the future? Will he do enough to excite you for the future? That's what it's that's all it's about, Patriots fans. That's all it's about. You have nothing to look forward to this year other than what week does Drake May play. And I know some Patriots fans will say, I'm not watching it with Jacoby Brissett. You need to watch every game with Jacoby Brissett because at any given moment he could be pulled or something could happen and Drake May comes in and then we find out who he is as a quarterback. So, man, it's just weird to see that the Patriots are going to be going through this part of it. But I'll say this. Patriots, you have 2 years for the owner, for Robert Kraft, to know without a shadow of a doubt we're headed in the right direction. You can't have Drake May coming out, this team struggling mightily. You can't be like the Giants. You can't. You can't be struggling like the Giants. You got to struggle winning 8 games. You can't struggle like the Carolina Panthers. You got to struggle and win some games. Because this year, you got every excuse in the world. Next year, the owner's going to want to see real growth. Doesn't mean you're making the playoffs. Doesn't mean that you're getting over 8 wins, but growth. Winning some games and losing some tough ones. And if you do those things, the year 3 will be afforded, and then your head coach will be judged. Everybody will be judged. And that will determine whether or not you move on with the current regime, you move on with the quarterback. If they make a playoffs 3 years from now, you feel good and you can re-sign everybody, give extensions where it be. And because if that doesn't happen, everybody's getting fired. They're bringing in a new coach, and that coach is going to inherit all the gifts, all the draft picks that you drafted, and they get a fresh start to build it, and it ends up being possibly more successful. So that's where you are as Patriots fans right now. There ain't no expectations. Now, can you come out and shock the world and upset some teams? That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful for the organization. That's when you know you're headed in the right direction. Can you come out and have a Jordan Love type season? Can Drake May come out and have a CJ Stroud type season? Well, the only issue with that is he's already working at a disadvantage given the fact that they've already announced they're going to start Jacoby Brissett. So can he have a Herbert type season where you don't play like at first because Tyrod Taylor was there? Then all of a sudden Tyrod Taylor got a punctured lung or something. Then Herbert comes in and breaks all rookie records. Anything's possible, but I will say there are no high expectations for the New England Patriots this year. They got to continue to grow as a team, and we'll see what that ends up looking like, all right? So that's what you have for the New England Patriots, ladies and gentlemen. We'll keep our eyes on them this year, evaluate them to see what their future is like, all right? Before we move on to the Buffalo Bills, I want to go ahead and remind everyone that we do have an AFC East Roundtable event twice this year, one in New York at MetLife and one at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Take a look at this.
Roundtable Sports is throwing two huge events this 2024 NFL season. Come join me, Richie from Jets Media, TD Finns Talk, Dan Mitchell, and Patriots Global for an unforgettable game day experience. Week 6, Monday Night Football, Bills vs. Jets at MetLife Stadium. Your ticket comes with an all-inclusive tailgate party hosted by Gotham City Crew, food, drinks, live DJ, and more. Also, come witness the AFC East Roundtable live in-person show from the tailgate. And last but not least, you will get access to the MetLife Stadium's turf for the pregame and witness the national anthem before primetime football kicks off. Our second event this year is going to be in Miami for the first time. Week 14, New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. We locked down our own private corner terrace at Hard Rock Stadium, exclusive for our group. Saturday night, join us at Miller's Ale House for an awesome meet and greet. Jake Asman will be a special guest for this event. Email us at afceastroundtable@gmail.com for more information on how to secure your tickets.
All right. Yes, so hopefully some of you guys can show up to the event. The link is in the description of the video. If you want to attend either one of those events, tickets are selling fast. I think we have I got to check, maybe 15 to 20 left to the Jets event and about 20 to 25 left for the Miami event. I don't know if we have 75 tickets or whatever for the Jets event. I'm not sure. I'll have to go double check, but we've sold a lot of them already. So go check it out and get on it as soon as you can. And the Dolphins event, we have 75 tickets, and I think we have like 20 something left. So get on it. That one's December 8th. So the first one is MetLife, Buffalo Bills, Jets. So check that out. All right. Shout out to Steve B with the first donation of the show. Steve said, "What's up, TD? Eagles fan here. Good luck to your Dolphins this season." Yeah, man. We're gonna do our thing, man. We're gonna do our thing. We'll see how it goes. All right. We shall see how it goes. Where do you go for the tickets? In the description of this video, there's a link that you can click on to secure your tickets. That way, you can be a part of it. We're gonna be an exclusive group. It's gonna be pretty dope. All right, we're gonna have a lot of fun together. All right. Oh, I already have my ticket for the Miami versus Jets game. Let's go. Awesome, man. All right, so let's do it. Let's get into the Buffalo Bills this time, okay? Buffalo Bills, what's at stake for them? All right, so as you all know, the Buffalo Bills has owned the AFC East for 3 or 4 years now, okay? You know, a lot of people, I know people think I troll so much and things like that, but here's the real reality of the Buffalo Bills. Nobody really truly knows what to expect from them this season. They could either be as good as they've been, or they could really plummet. Like, no lie. They can either, now what they won't be, in my opinion, is better than they've been. But they can be as good as they've been the last several years, or they could absolutely plummet. The thing to know is there's a lot of unknowns. You got a rookie group. I mean, not a rookie group. You got a bunch of young players. No Stephon Diggs, no Gabe Davis, a younger secondary somewhat. And these guys are playing well, but, you know, you never know what you're going to get. Because at the end of the day, this team lives or dies by Josh Allen. He either carries them or it's no good. And you saw it last year when he tried to stay in that pocket and just stay structured. The team didn't do so well. They struggled mightily. And then when he started running the ball again, having that balance, you know, becoming that threat, and throwing the ball, you don't know what's coming and you got to keep a spy on him, and he's willing to sacrifice his body more, he becomes somewhat unstoppable. And here was the dilemma last year. I remember he said it in a press conference, you can't play the game forever. He wants to start to protect himself more. And I think that's what he was trying to do early in the season, trying to protect himself more. And he saw that he has to put that team on his shoulders. And let me say this. For Josh Allen to have to carry the team so much over the last several years, that is, and Bills fans may be mad at this, but in my opinion, that is an indication of bad coaching. You should be making life easier for Josh Allen. You should establish a great run game, not a solid run game, but a great run game. And then one that doesn't require him to run so much to make it great. Have some true balance to where he doesn't have to carry the moment every time. And I think that that's where the issue comes from with the Buffalo Bills. It's really in their run game. It's the fact that they try to utilize their quarterback for it so much to where you can predict what's about to happen and where it's coming from. In those big moments, those big games, Josh Allen be rushing the ball at least 5 to 9 times. And they be designed, hike, back to pass. Nope, I'm running. Like, at some point, teams recognize that. They recognize that. And you cannot continue to let this man take the abuse that his body is taking with these hits and think he's going to be Iron Man forever. So I think the issue has always been the same. Coaching in Buffalo, requiring Josh Allen to bail everybody out and keep their jobs when life shouldn't be that hard for a quarterback. They need to make it easier so that his superpowers can take them over the top and possibly finally beat a team like the Chiefs. So what's at stake for the Buffalo Bills? You don't get it done this year. Like there has never been a team where the expectation is a Super Bowl more than the Buffalo Bills at this point. Maybe Baltimore too. But Buffalo got to be top 3 up there, where them, San Francisco, and Ravens, probably top 3, where the expectation is a Super Bowl. Baltimore, San Francisco, and Buffalo, top 3 teams where the expectation is a Super Bowl. And if the Buffalo Bills don't do anything special this year, let me give you an example. If they miss the playoffs, McDermott and the general manager needs to be fired. If they make the playoffs and lose in the first round, same result, need to be fired. If they make the playoffs, win the first round, and lose the second round, in my opinion, needs to be fired. If you win the first 2 rounds and go to the AFC Championship game, you put them on the hottest of hot seats for next year, and with no excuse, Super Bowl or you're fired. And if you go to a Super Bowl, you just keep on whacking at it. You don't put them on the hot seat, even if they lose it. That's the level of what it needs to be at this point. No playoffs, all of them fired. Playoffs, first round exit, all of them fired. Playoffs, second round exit, all of them fired. Playoffs, AFC Championship exit, hot seat next year, Super Bowl, or you're fired. And if you make it to the Super Bowl, no hot seat, even if you lose, let's keep whacking at it. That's the expectation, man. If that ain't your expectation as a Bills fan, then you're complicit with this purgatory of regular season success but playoff failure. You know that's a bad thing too, right? You know how people say, oh, we never make the playoffs, this purgatory. Yeah, that's terrible. But do you know making the playoffs every year and just keep getting bounced one way or another and not even making a championship or a Super Bowl, that's bad too. That's like more frustrating to me. So, in my opinion, that's the expectation for the Buffalo Bills, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to the Miami Dolphins. But before we do, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor.
This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Michael Vick at BetUS.com. Catch an incredible 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS, my online sportsbook and casino.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Miami Dolphins, mine's truly the team that I love. Okay, what's at stake for the Miami Dolphins? I want to take a similar approach to the Buffalo Bills here. I want to take a similar approach to the Buffalo Bills. The Miami Dolphins have a lot at stake here. We're known as the soft team. We're known as the team that can't play in cold weather. We're known as the team that folds late in the season. We're known as the team that any real level competition, we just don't show up. We're not good. We get bullied. We don't bring the fight to others. That's what we're known as. Okay? This year they're looking to change that. But if they don't change that, then we're in trouble. The implications are so large for the Miami Dolphins for the given reason that you just signed your quarterback on a multi-year deal, almost to a point to where you're stuck regardless of what happens. You just extended your head coach on a multi-year deal, almost like you're stuck no matter what happens. And there lies the issue of why the Miami Dolphins are in a must-win situation. Can you imagine a world where the Miami Dolphins don't even make the playoffs this year? 8-9 wins, miss the playoffs? Can you imagine a world like that? It'll be easy for me to take the Buffalo approach, fire Greer, fire McDaniel, and trade Tua, but you can't. You can't. Same thing if you go to the playoffs and win your first playoff game or get bounced in the first round. I would feel the same way, but you can't. And then if you win your first playoff game and you get bounced in the second round, a lot of Dolphin fans out there, trust me when I tell you, they'll see that as success. It's progress. It's not. This team has a roster that should be competing for Super Bowls. But we will, as a fan base, view that as success. Albeit it's a playoff win, something we haven't done since just say 1,000 years, I feel like. But most of us review it as success. And we can build on it to move forward. If we go to a divisional round and we lose, it was still progress from getting a first win. But if we win, now we're getting into the success realm because we'll be attending an AFC Championship game. In my opinion, the floor for the Miami Dolphins as far as expectations are an AFC Championship game. Anything short of that is a failure, even though one playoff win and a wild card or something, people will think that's success because we haven't won a playoff game in a long time, which just sets the team up for long-term purgatory. The Miami Dolphins have to make an AFC Championship game and feel like they can build upon that to win a Super Bowl if they don't. Because what a lot of people don't want to admit is that Tyreek Hill, after 2 seasons, highly likely he won't be on this roster. Highly likely. Teron Armstead will not be on this roster. Jalen Ramsey probably will not be on this roster. Poyer nor Fuller will be on this roster. A lot of the bigger name stars that we have right now, Bradley Chubb will not be on this roster after 2 years. This is just the reality, and we'll continue to build around Tua. But the question that you have to ask while we're building is, are we replacing talent with better talent or at least the same? And that's the problem. What are the odds of finding the next Tyreek Hill? Slim to none. What are the odds of finding the next Teron Armstead? Slim to none. Bradley Chubb, Jalen Ramsey, and the list goes on. That's what the Dolphin fans need to open their eyes and realize. that we have a 2-year window to do something special, because if we don't, all of the big name guys will be replaced. And you have to ask yourself, what are the odds that their replacements are going to be better or at least the same as they were? And it's highly unlikely, because we have some of the best at their positions. Teron Armstead, when healthy, is one of the best left tackles in the NFL, period. Jalen Ramsey, one of the best corners in the NFL, period. Tyreek Hill, the best offensive player in the NFL, period. And replacing talent like that, you will downgrade. Highly likely that you will be downgrading. So that's why the implications over the next 2 seasons are dire for the Dolphins to get something done. But the shame of it all is I don't see a punishment in sight if they don't, because they just blindly committed to our future. And yes, what do you mean they blindly committed? They blindly committed it because the truth of the matter is they didn't have to extend Tua Tagovailoa. They chose to save drama. They didn't have to extend Mike McDaniel, but they chose to. And I don't have a problem with the McDaniel extension. I'm just hoping that Tua takes the next step this year in his development. And if he does, he will officially have arrived, because that next step is arrival. And I'm not talking about being a stat junkie arrival. I'm talking about the eye test arrival. When you keep it a buck, when you keep it 100 about what you're seeing on the field, the true eye test arrival. That's what we're all looking for with Tua Tagovailoa. And if that happens, then yes, we will dominate this division and potentially the conference for years to come. But until that happens, hopefully it does this year, it is what it is. So the Miami Dolphins have a lot at stake. The only issue is there's not much consequence built in for failure. There is no consequence truly built in if it all ends up being a failure. You can't go out and say, we'll get a new coach for Tua, when this is the one you sold your soul over to fix him. Now you can go get a new GM, but that GM wants to evaluate and go in his own direction. See, if this whole thing doesn't work and Tua continues to do the things that he's done in the past, the organization is going to realize, first of all, we got to be better at the quarterback position. There isn't many other formulas to put around him to make the team better. That's why this one has to work, because this is some of the best that you can have. Unless you want to invest in one of the best O-lines in the NFL, then if you do that, where are you going to be pulling your resources from? Lesser of a receiver, lesser on the defensive side of the ball. Where are you going to give and take? So we shall see. Time will tell, but the Dolphins have to do it over the next 2 years, or we're going to be in shambles for quite some time too. This year has to be a statement, and next year has to be all out. It's that simple. No sugarcoating it. The Dolphins, the organization is on the clock, but no individual is, because of the way they did the contracts. We're stuck. So hopefully we're stuck with success. Time will tell. All right, let's go on to last but not least, the New York Jets. So when it comes to the New York Jets, I know I've been clipped about giving my honest takes. Yeah, I've been clipped, but I don't sugarcoat things. When I tell the truth about it. The Jets roster, in my opinion, they're loaded. The Jets are ready to, in my opinion, they have a roster that should be competing for a Super Bowl. And yes, I've said this plenty of times before. Don't believe me? Just watch. Don't believe me? Just watch.
Dolphin fans, oh, you tripping. Breece Hall, right now, the best running and catching back outside of Christian McCaffrey in the league. The depth of the Jets O-line might be better than our whole O-line unit. Like, real talk. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I think we're going to sweep Buffalo this year. Maybe, and I sure hope so. But don't sweep Buffalo and replace it with getting swept by the Jets. There is a fat that they're deeper than us on the O-line, deeper than us at linebacker. It is a fact that they're deeper than us on the D-line. Better cornerback unit overall. Well, let's stop lying to ourselves. The Jets have a better roster than the Miami Dolphins. That's actually a fact, man. I don't have to sit here and be a homer and just tell you, oh, we're better. They got a better roster by far.
Not by far, but they got a better roster. The Jets do have a better roster overall. Better depth, better balance. They could use some better safeties, in my opinion. Backup center is something that they could use. But overall, the Jets, you're ready for a Super Bowl. Are you going to get one? Are you going to get one? Are you going to be good enough to get one in this gauntlet of an AFC East? Now, I will tell y'all this. I am a little bit upset about the Jets. Not because of them, but the NFL. If you go look at their schedule, they are built to win 12-plus games. Their schedule, if they're just a good team like they're supposed to be, it's like ridiculous. I'm going to be honest, it ain't even fair. It's not even fair. It's like weak to me. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like it, but I also understand this too. They were like a third-place team last year, so they get the third-place schedule in every division. Like, for instance, I want y'all to think about this, right? If they're as good as their rosters say they should be, this is how you got to look at it. This is my unbiased take, right? They lose to 49ers. They beat Tennessee. They beat the Patriots. They beat Denver. They beat the Vikings. They beat Buffalo at home. They lose to the Steelers, right? Let's back up. Let me count the wins and losses again. They lose to San Francisco 0-1. Then they go on a 4-5 game win streak against the Tennessee Titans, New England Patriots, Denver Broncos, Minnesota Vikings, and Buffalo at home. That's a 5-game win streak. That means they could be 5-1. Pittsburgh's at home. Sometimes you throw in that loss. They could very well be Pittsburgh, but I'm going to throw in that loss, okay? That's 5-2. But then they play the Patriots again. That's 6-2. Then they play the Texans at home. They'll lose to the Texans, 6-3. They play the Cardinals. They win, 7-3. They play the Colts. They win, 8-3. They play the Seattle Seahawks. Since it's at home, I'm going to give them that win. That's 9-3. They play the Dolphins in Miami, 9-4, because they lose. They play the Jags in Jacksonville. They edge out a victory and go 10-4. They play the Rams at home. They edge out a victory and go 11-4. Now they're on the road to Buffalo and they lose. That's 11-5. Miami, last game of the season, what it could come down to. And I got them losing, so 11-6. But I also got us going 11-6. And us winning the division because we own the tiebreaker. This is why you can't split with the Jets this year if you're Miami. But still, 11-6. And I want you to think about the games I told you they lose. They lose one of the Buffaloes. They lose both of them to Miami. I told you that they would also lose the Texans game and the 49ers game and then in Pittsburgh. And I want you to think about those games, the ones that they actually could win, but I'm chalking it up. They could beat Pittsburgh. They could possibly beat Houston. They could split with Miami. Hoping not. But this is why I'm telling you all those other games, in my opinion, are easy for them. They could easily 11, 12, 13, just depending on how it goes if they play in great football and their reflection of their roster. But they got to do it. They have to do it. Jets fans should be excited. They should be so happy about the team that they have right now. But they got to do it. They got to do it. It's just the roster. You got to go out on the field and make it count. Mike Deesner said, honest Jets expectations and Jets are healthy, TD. I just gave it. You damn right. We competing for a Super Bowl. This is the reality. Now, what's at stake? they need a playoff win. First round, whatever it is, they need a playoff win. It ain't just good enough to make the playoffs and lose in the first round. Fire everybody if you do. If you miss the playoffs, fired. If you make it to the playoffs for the first time in forever, I know it seems like an accomplishment, but if you don't win your first playoff game, fired. If you win your first playoff game and lose your second playoff game, hot seat, next year you got to do it all or everybody fired. See, they're starting a level before Buffalo. If you go to the AFC, if you win that game and go to the AFC Championship game, nobody on the hot seat, next year you got to do it all. If you go to the Super Bowl, nobody on the hot seat, go for broke next year and like try to go win a Super Bowl the year after. That's the expectations for the Jets, and that's what's at stake. Anything short of the second round, fireable offense. And if you get a first round bye, then you still got to win your first game in the playoffs in that second round or fire them all. If they don't go to at least the AFC Championship game, that's a problem if you got a first round bye. And if you don't have a first round bye, you got to at least make it to that second round. If not, I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. Go ahead and start stocking up draft picks now. Or start working on your future now, because it could get ugly. So that's my take on the Jets in that regards, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this. This is going to be one of the most exciting seasons that we've seen in a long time in the NFL because there's so much competition. There's so many great games we're going to get to watch around the league. So many big-time games every week. I just can't wait for it, man. But in this AFC East, it's not going to be easy. This is going to be a dogfight. How you get out that gate could very well determine the entire season. You got to get out that gate firing on all cylinders. Anybody 500 or below by week 6, that ain't a great sign. I'll tell you like that. Anybody 500 or under by week 6, it's not a great sign. Even if you're 500, it ain't a great sign. It ain't death of you, but it ain't a great sign. Anything under 500 after week 6, you might well kiss the baby. It's a wrap. So week 6, we're going to look to see who 4 and 2 are better. I think that's what it's going to come down to. Those first 6 weeks, who jump out the gate doing what they need to do right away. Time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the AFC East Roundtable. Thank you for enjoying AFC East conversation with TD. What's at stake for each team. Y'all hit that like button. Shout out to Ronald Miller. Shout out to all the members of the channel. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, this stream was powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 using the link in the description of the video and also pinned at the top of the chat. If you're looking for a sports book, BetUS is where to look. All right. Thank you all. Love you all. I'll see you soon. Peace. I am out.
This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Michael Vick at BetUS.com. Catch an incredible 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits plus 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS, my online sportsbook and casino.